do you imagine the board games of tomorrow? Are we going to be able to play board games with holographic worlds and characters? I wonder. Hello to you, I'm Céline, Brand and Community Manager for Game On Tabletop, the first tabletop crowdfunding platform for gamers by gamers. Today we're going to discuss the future of tabletop crowdfunding and how technology in the digital era is slowly but surely changing the way we play board games. To discuss this topic, we invited Gaëtan Martin, Communication and Project Manager for the French publishing company Arcada Studio. Hello Gaëtan, thank you for joining us today.
Hello Céline, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and you?
Fine.
So if we invited you today to discuss this particular topic, it's because you currently have a late pledge on Game On Tabletop for your game Irune. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, the pledge is going really well. We have new backers every day. We are more than 230,000 euros.
Oh, that's great.
Which is a lot more than we expected. So we are really happy about this.
So can you tell me a bit more about your game? How does your game work?
Irune is a dungeon crawler in which 1 to 4 players face off against another player, the Dark Master. In each quest, both sides will have goals to complete. The side that has the most victory point at the end of the quest wins the quest. At the end of each quest, the adventurers and the Dark Master will evolve and will be able to obtain new skills, spells, equipment, in even new class called Heroic class. There are 3 per character. And also we have the solo cooperative mode that can be played to 1 to 4 players, and the arena mode in which the adventurer will have to face waves of monsters and they have to go the further they can in waves.
So it's a game for everyone?
Yes, it's a game for everyone. Every type of board game player can enjoy Irune.
So can you tell me more about the application? So there's a vocal app in your game. How does it work and where does it come from? Why did you decide to use a vocal app?
So before talking about the vocal app, we have to talk about the history of Irune. So Irune was born in high school in the mind of Quentin and Adrien. They were working on Irune, so they have the mechanics and everything. And around 3 years ago, the vocal technology arrived in France, so Google Home, Alexa, Amazon and everything. So we started to develop Irune on Google Home only, not on the phone. And we encountered a lot of problems, so we decided to develop our own technology.
It seems you're in the dungeon kitchen. You can read the book on the table and listen at the door.
And now it allows us to improve the mechanics of Irune without forcing people to stick their nose to their phone while they are playing board game, and to keep the social and physical side of the board game.
So all the Google Home and Alexa was an influence for you. And how does the vocal app really work? For the game exactly, how does the player use it?
The application is called The Spirit of Irune. It's like a third player, but it's neutral. It's not for the Dark Master or the adventurers. And it allows us to push the immersion further because we add music that will evolve with the game. It allows us to make cinematic introduction to quests. One of the founders is animation director at a video game company. And also it embodied the non-player character that are dubbed by real actor in French and in English.
All right, do you want me to go deep down with you and purge this dungeon?
For the rules, the Spirit know all the rules, so player will just have to ask what they want to know and the application will respond in an instant. From the gameplay point of view, the application allows us to do true random like MMORPGs. For example, when a player searches a room or furniture, the Spirit will say what they find by asking our large database with a lot of objects and equipment. It also allows us to add true random events at the beginning of each turn. Just like searches, they can be good, bad or neutral. We also added new type of event, one that I call consequences. For example, if the elf drink a dwarf beer, the effect can be random. The application can say the beer was really strong, you gain 1 shield or defense roll this turn. And the next turn, it can be the beer was really strong, you're drunk, you cannot move this turn. And also we have the story event, which are token placed on the board. These are scripted events, they are not random. They will tell the story, and adventurers and even the Dark Master will have choice to make that will change the course of the story. This is why we thought about this, because it allows us to do all these things and keep surprising the players as they play, and adding replayability and making each game more unique because of all the events.
That's really cool. Like the Vocal app really immerses you in the game. Like it creates a background for the game, the music and all of that. And it's also like it plays a bit the part of the game master in some way.
Yes, the application is kind of the game master in role play and everything, and it allows us to make the role of the Dark Master more surprising because it doesn't know everything except the layout of his board, of his dungeon. Because we really wanted to have a Dark Master role more funny and less passive than what we used to saw in other games.
Okay, so we can probably say that nowadays more and more board games use technology for their game. So for you, do you think newer generations will need these kind of technology? Like it will become the new norm to use technology for board games? Do you think it's like the future of board games to always use technology?
I don't think so. I think that technology is interesting for games like Heroon, where big data bases are required for equipment quests and clearly give the player a better experience. But I think it doesn't apply to all type of board game, and I think that hybrid board games is just a new category of board games.
Okay, so I was wondering as well, so you said for Heroon that the Vocal app can manage randomness and as well it can manage NPCs. So for me, like I kind of feel like it looks a bit like video games, you know? The computer of video games can manage the NPCs. So do you think with that we kind of like we lose the line between board games and video games? Do you think it's meant to disappear one day?
I hope not. I hope that the line between board games and video games will remain clear. Video games and board games have in common that they bring people together, but in totally different way. With our voice application, we wanted to improve the gameplay mechanics with elements from the video games, but keeping the social and physical side of the board game. We don't want a board game that makes us stick our nose to our phone or computer screen and not be able to share the moment with others. I hope that the future of technology in board games will be to offer players an increasingly unique gaming experience. For example, once the game is delivered with Heroon, we plan to use behavior data, linked like time to finish a quest, the choice made by a player, to start training an AI in order to allow the application to adapt to players' decision and make each game even more unique than the previous one. But I don't think that we need to add technology in every board game. The board game sector is growing even more every day, and new players join the community every day also. The best board game in the world don't have technology. I don't think that it's mandatory to do this.
Okay, so last but not least, do you have another game in the works for Arcada Studio?
We have thought about new games in new genre, but it's not something that will come out like this year or next year, because it's something that we like to do in our free time. But for now, Arcada is totally focusing on producing the game and the application.
So it's just the beginning. I'm excited to see what's coming next. Okay, and for your next games, do you still want to use technology? Maybe the same kind of Vocal app or maybe another kind of technology?
Yes, we specialize in vocal technology, so we are thinking our new game using this technology. We are also still developing Heroon and doing research and development for the technology behind Heroon. For example, like I said before, the add of an AI. Also, we are developing an interface that will allow players to add quests, equipment, and events without having to code. Because we've created Heroon almost like sandbox board game, and we wanted the community to be able to create the adventure that they want. But all of this takes time. The backers already know about this, and they will have to wait a little.
So on that note, we're ending today's video on the future of board games. I hope it interested you. Thank you again, Gaëtan, for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting us, and thank you to all the backers.
Let us know in the comments what's for you the future of board games, and do you want to see more technology in board games in the future? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to follow our crafting adventures. We hope to see you soon. Bye bye!